Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. Wait a minute, I tell you. You ain't heard nothing.
This video will detail exactly how NASA pulled off the space station hoax. I hope you enjoy it. Please see the description box below for my PayPal to donate to help fund the channel. Thank you. We're almost at the end of this documentary series. Thank you for everyone who has stuck with me this far. God bless you. Thank you to Kyle M who donated last night. God bless you, brother Kyle. I want to remind everyone at this time that Jesus is the way, the truth and the life. So if you're seeking the truth in anything, seek Jesus first and pray for understanding, and through him all things will be made clear.
In the meantime, they are images that inspire, educate, and sometimes just make us say, wow.
Yeah.
Over the years, NASA has given us spectacular photos and renderings that reveal a colorful and mysterious universe.
No doubt. And now Chris Martinez is introducing us to two of the artists behind some of the most iconic space art in the galaxy.
In a small, bright office, working side by side,
Let's see.
Robert Hurt and Tim Pyle bring the universe to life.
What we're doing does have real science underlying it.
Robert is an astrophysicist turned artist. Tim, once a Hollywood animator, is now a planet illustrator. Together, they produce some of NASA's most popular images, from renderings of how planets light years away could look, to actual photos of stars and galaxies captured by NASA's powerful telescopes.
And this is sort of how it comes to me. And then
Many of those images have a dark, grainy start, but color and light reveal an astonishing glimpse.
Yes, you heard correctly. There is some underlying science, as you said, as the base. This guy is scribbling like a 5-year-old, but with a computer. A little bit of magenta here, a touch of turquoise there, and then these images are published as the pictures that NASA have from the Hubble telescope of the Earth, when in reality, they're fabricated on design software. Here you see them making some clouds one year, and making clouds in a different way the next year. It's just sick.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Watch this. Can everybody float around for us?
Alright, Drew, why don't you give me a description of where we are?
From looking at these videos and the images that we can see now, a few things are blatantly evident. And we will talk on the basis as if the space station is up in orbit for now, but inside the International Space Station, it would seem as if the astronauts are on some type of harness via the crotch area, always being bunched up, like for example when you rock climb, and also in the chest area from a torso harness. This is especially evident when they're stood still. The reason we know this is because there seems to be two types of transitions. One, where the astronauts are still and they don't need to hold on to anything, and two, when they're moving freely and they need to touch the sides and tops to stabilize themselves. I'll play the clips now so you can see exactly what I mean with live examples.
And that's just by surface tension. And then you can drink it. So a lot of people ask about what...
So what about when the astronauts are moving? Well, for me to explain this part, I need to try and show understanding, so we will be going through some more truth right now. Now, I had seriously doubted that we had reached outer space, and these suspicions have been confirmed repeatedly, as we saw in previous episodes with scientists and astronauts admitting they don't know how to get out of low Earth orbit. But with this new information God made available to me regarding rockets and zero gravity flight, I also now seriously doubt that NASA have even been able to reach the low Earth orbit due to the firmament, and showing you this will help me explain the section after this regarding the zero gravity. There's much evidence out there regarding rockets hitting the firmament, so here I want you to have a look for yourself as always. Without me giving my opinion, here's the video footage.
All systems are go for launch. T-minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Altitude 32 kilometers, speed 1 kilometer per second, downrange distance 13 kilometers.
Data coming back shows vehicle on course, on track.
There is people who say that these rockets stop due to something called a yo-yo de-spin device. So I'm meant to believe a rocket traveling at Mach 5 or 2,000 meters per second, it's just going to hit the brakes, right? Well, why can't fighter planes, fighter jets or aeroplanes, cars or motorbikes stop immediately like this yo-yo spin device? So now you might be thinking, what about all of those rockets that head straight up? Well, actually, they don't head straight up, and this further accentuates other parts of the NASA illusion. We're told from childhood the Earth is a globe, and that because it's a globe there's a curvature, and at a certain point in the distance there is a physical place called the horizon. A good thing to remember is that amateur and private rockets always head up in a vertical line and always hit the firmament, whereas NASA's and SpaceX and Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic, they always curve away in order to maintain the deceit. Here's a clip of Sword in the Stone to show you 1, how they hide things in plain sight, and 2, the brainwashing of all of mankind begins early from the days of childhood.
We'll show 'em, won't we, boy?
We sure will.
Now, first of all, lad, we've got to get all these medieval ideas out of your head. clear the way for new ideas, knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now that'll be a great advantage, boy.
Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic.
The world is round?
Yes, yes, that's right. And it also goes around.
You mean it'll be round someday?
No, it's round now. Man will discover this in centuries to come. And he will also find that the world is merely a tiny speck in the universe.
Universe?
You're only confusing the boy. Before you're through, he'll be so mixed up, he'll be wearing his shoes on his head. Man has always learned from the past. After all, you can't learn history in reverse. It's confusing enough, for heaven's sakes.
All right. Oh, of all the idiotic guys, blow me to Bermuda!
Where did he go? To Bermuda, I suppose.
Where's that?
Oh, an island way off somewhere that hasn't been discovered yet.
Will he ever come back?
Who knows? Who knows?
The idiotic guys, blow me to Bermuda!
Why would he say Bermuda of all places? NASA was created in 1958 after they found out about the firmament and the ice wall. The Antarctic Treaty was signed in 1959 to stop anyone finding out what they found out. Operation Fishbowl happened in 1962, and this is when they tried to blow up the firmament, as we've spoken about previously. Sword in the Stone was created in 1963, so this is definitely hidden in plain sight with the curved rocket path. He could have been designed to have flown straight up by the Disney cinematography team. There's literally no such thing as the horizon, and the Earth doesn't curve. But let's go through a few images to explain this, and hopefully you'll understand where their rockets go, and why NASA and SpaceX rockets don't fly straight up. The flight path is always curved dramatically away. This inside camera shows the truth. It shows a flat horizon level with the lens. The external camera is more than likely augmented reality or a computer-generated image to keep the lies going. This picture shows no curve in 3 different places, but if there is a curve in one particular place, it would need to be 23 to 26 miles of straight lines and then a 266-foot curve, but we don't see it. So all those images go to show is what we're told in high school is utter nonsense. Let's look at some NASA and SpaceX rockets to see the difference in flight path between the amateur guys who go straight up and these guys who curve. These videos here, you can see the rockets from these big organizations like NASA, Virgin Galactic, SpaceX. They always curve dramatically away from the sky, or where we think the sky would be. They always start off vertically and then they do a 90-degree turn away from where you'd think outer space was. But of course, we've all been taught that this is normal. Luke chapter 12, verse 2. And God said, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known." God is revealing things because he wants to save his people. Like in the Old Testament with the watchers, those who would watch out and over people, these are the times that we are in. Now we know NASA was started by the Nazis. The word NASA itself means deceit, and the serpent tongue through the middle of the image. We know they love to do things hidden in plain sight to satisfy their esoteric agenda. We know over 20 ancient civilizations, not including the ancient Hebrews, recognized the earth was flat. We know the Bible talks about flat earth and the firmament. The Apollo was fake and they rubbed that in our faces. We know 6 out of the 7 Challenger astronauts are alive. We've seen astronauts using harnesses, and I'll reveal after these videos that the space station doesn't even exist, but it could actually be an aeroplane. There is no curve in the earth, the horizon doesn't exist, and we have graphic designers drawing NASA's official telescope pictures and telling us it's based on real science, when we can see them adding in different colours of their choice. So is it the Hubble telescope or not? So then a good question would be, where do these rockets go? on this curved path. But a better question would be, where do these rockets take off from? And that's Cape Canaveral. The Cape is right beside the Bermuda Triangle. Well, what is the Bermuda Triangle? It's a place where planes and boats mysteriously go missing. It's also coincidentally or not known as the Devil's Triangle. And that the blue arrow here is Cape Canaveral. And they always curve their flight path toward the ocean, right to the Bermuda Triangle. I hope this montage I presented by the grace of God has made it abundantly clear as to why it's extremely unlikely that this tin-foil, aluminium, flimsy space station, or anything else for that matter, made its way 90 miles or higher off the Earth's surface. It really is sad, and it hurts my heart that mankind has been deceived on such a grand scale. But this is the nature of the devil, brothers and sisters. It was necessary to explain all of this because now I can show you how they simulate the zero gravity. Well, as we discussed, there is two transitions of movement that we see in the space station. One is the astronauts being stationary and requires no arm stabilization, and the second is when they're completely free but need to touch surfaces to stabilize themselves. Pay close attention to the similarities of the zero gravity space flights and the movements of their hands, and then watch the astronauts and how they're acting too.
That your feet are straight down and get ready to come down to the ground.
So in this plane, they do these parabolic flight patterns. So basically the plane flies up super quick, and then as it's dropping, you are weightless for about 30 seconds.
We're flying aboard our specially modified Boeing 727 aircraft at the same altitudes as commercial flights.
Now the first two were not entirely weightless. It's to kind of get our bodies acclimated. But let me tell you what, Matt is terrified. He hates flying. So let's see what Matt.
Wall over here. So all of us sleep in a little bit of a circle. All right, come on back. There's more to show you. I know that there's some questions about how to use the bathroom and how to...
The top and bottom of what I'm showing you is that the space station isn't in low Earth orbit because they can't get past the firmament. They simulate the astronauts being in space by using zero gravity planes. Now you've seen the astronauts only ever move via two positions, when they're still, where it looks like they're hooked into harnesses, and then secondly, there seems to be a free flight mode where they need to touch and stabilize themselves on all the surfaces. In addition to this, have you also noticed that when the astronauts are talking in space, it's really loud? Have any of you ever been on an aeroplane? The engines are really quite loud. Well, let's listen into the sound of a zero gravity flight and also the supposed space station. But first, if you find it hard to believe, here it is in their own words.
It's losing a national capability, unfortunately. The only way right now that we can simulate the gravity on Moon, Mars, asteroids is parabolic flight. If that's truly in our future, we're getting rid of the only laboratory we have to test these things. We should be flying the things that are unique, that are different, that are one-timers, that are first-timers.
Over here. So all of us sleep in a little bit of a circle. All right, come on back. There's more to show you. I know that there's some questions about how to use the bathroom and how do you actually live in space.
Every room of your house into a personalized video game level. But today, we want to take mixed reality one step further. So we've got something new to show you. Holograms you can hold. This holographic gauntlet is the weapon that Dan will be using while playing Project X-Ray. You'll notice that as he moves his arm, the hologram moves as well. This is a wearable hologram. And when you combine technology like this with the environment understanding of HoloLens, you can do some pretty spectacular things. Dan can even use his shield to defend himself.
Does any of this make sense, or do you believe this is a coincidence? Further proof of this space station being faked can be found in the glitches we see certain astronauts have, and this is because of virtual reality. They have actually gone so far as to use virtual reality contact lenses for the astronauts rather than headsets, so they can basically use computer game technology to interact with objects and then project that image onto a completely different screen in real time. They can also use virtual reality contact lenses to interact with objects in place of the big headsets that would obviously be a dead giveaway. And as you can see from this video coming up here, the guy on the left is having a really bad day. Both of them are wearing augmented contact lenses. The guy on the left thinks he sees an object in 3D being broadcast to him, so he grabs it and puts it to the side. That's because he's wearing the contact lenses. That's why he's looking straight ahead, because he's looking at a spinning object. But the video channel to show the viewer what he is seeing is turned off. Comical. And we can just see they're having a really bad day at NASA. A really bad day. In this next video, you can see the astronaut is trying to move his hand, but the software doesn't track his hand properly. So he puts his fingers under the fingers holding the microphone, and it goes underneath it, which is just an impossibility in real life. This software glitch shows us it's a fake reality that they're projecting to us when they do these staged interviews. And these next videos, as you can see, are a series of bloopers by NASA. You can see the first guy here rolling, showing us how acrobatic he is, and then all of a sudden he's just phased out, literally phased out, and you can see it for yourself here. Then, if we continue to move forward with all of these strange occurrences, we have all of these different space bubbles that NASA have. How did he explain this? How can you explain it? How could anybody who doubts the efficacy and the validity of what I've spoken about in these 7 series so far, with one more to go, of space bubbles being in space? It's a vacuum. There's no air, there's no water. How is this possible? And I want to say thank you to everyone who's supporting me. Thank you to everyone who's donating. Please continue to support the channel. God bless you all. In Jesus' name, walk in peace. Amen.